We are going to do today the easiest topic of sea floor spreading, plate tectonics, उसका impact, theories of mountain building, पुरानी theory geosyncline theory, new theories of mountain building, plate tectonic theory, and how the different kind of the mountains are formed. So, start हो गया? कनेक्शन आ रहा है. Fine. So, let's have a quick look at the videos on plate tectonics. इसकी ज़रूरत नहीं है, सो वॉइस की. What is this? The continental drift theory. Breaking of the continents, this is what is the Pangaea Vaz. Wegener. Continents drifting apart. Evidences, rocks, etc. on the either side of the continents, fossils on the either side of the continents. नहीं ठीक है. Now, afterwards, the seafloor spreading found in between an S-shaped continuous mountain system, what we call it as a mid-Atlantic ridge. Because of the formation of the mid-Atlantic ridge, a new theory came which is known as a seafloor spreading. Seafloor spreading can be asked as a different theory in itself. Yeah, seafloor spreading is one of the evidence of continental drift. Seafloor spreading is also an evidence of plate tectonics, because this shows कि the seafloor spreading मतलब ये continental drift में use करो या इसको use करो in the divergent plate boundary. Fine. Why? Due to the convectional currents that rise from the heated interior of the earth. This is what is the magnetic anomaly we had seen. Harry Hess, seafloor spreading theory. Convectional currents, divergent plate boundary, earthquakes, and this is how the crust is breaking. Evidences, undersea volcanic eruptions, presence of mountain system. Seafloor spreading ultimately led to the formation of the theory of plate tectonics, in which we divide the world into numerous plates. Some of the plates are oceanic, some is continental plate. Yeah, mixture of both. This is what is the plates, and or this is what are the plates, the plate tectonic theory. Fine. तो कुछ जगह there is a convergent plate boundary, मतलब the two plates are coming near each other. कुछ जगह there is a divergent plate boundary, the plates are going away from each other. वही मेरा वाला एग्जाम्पल कन्वेक्शनल करंट वाला. So the same they applied to the earth. किसकी थियरी है कन्वेक्शनल करंट्स? आर्थर होम्स. This is how they break. Once they break, the magma will rise up, and after rising upwards, it will result into formation of solidification in different forms. And thus, it is neither the continental drift, it is neither only the seafloor spreading, it is the plate tectonic theory. And thus, it will be created and destroyed. Can the continental crust break? Yes, we have seen continental crust also can break in the regions of rift. Earthquakes, वो सब are an outcome of the plate tectonic theory. So there are three convergent plate boundaries, divergent plate boundary away from each other, और एक है transform plate boundary. They slide past each other. Fine. Convergent plate boundary जहाँ पे the two convectional currents are meeting. ये सब किसने बताया? Not the Arthur Holmes. Arthur Holmes just said कि force. ये सब बताया plate tectonic theory में. This was the sea floor. ये हम ये लिखने वाले हैं, and the same answer will be for the divergent plate boundary. अब you see how the magma is rising. Magma is rising easily because of the crack being formed. पहले केस में, not in this. पहले केस में the magma was rising easily because the crack is being formed. इसको हम कहेंगे rift volcanoes. Rift or silent kind of an volcanic eruption because already crack hai. In the convergent plate boundary, the magma will rise up with a great force, and it is always near the ocean continent collision. So magma will go below, and after that it will rise up. When it rises up, it will blast the top of a mountain. इसको हम कहेंगे convergent or violent volcanoes. The best example is the Pacific Ring of Fire. मैक्सिमम अमाउंट ऑफ वॉल्केनिक इरप्शंस अकॉर्डिंग टू ये जितने भी डॉट्स है ये सारे वर्ल्ड के वॉल्केनोज है. 60% ऑफ द वर्ल्ड्स वॉल्केनोज आर लोकेटेड इन दिस बेल्ट ऑफ द पैसिफिक रिंग ऑफ फायर, एंड दे आर माउंटेनियस, दे आर नॉट प्लाटू लाइक. प्लाटू लाइक फीचर्स विल बी फॉर्म्ड इन द डाइवर्जेंट प्लेट बाउंड्रीज. What is this? Folding. No volcanoes in case of Himalayas because both the crust are continental crust, and therefore we have some of the mighty mountains such as Himalayas. That is the Indian plate collided with the Eurasian plate. यहाँ पे क्या नहीं है? Volcanoes नहीं है. यही आंसर हमें लिखना है जो इस वीडियो में है. दैट दो अल्फ्रेड वेगनर वाज रॉन्ग इनिशियली बट अल्टीमेटली इट रिजल्टेड इनटू द प्लेट टेक्टोनिक थियरी. इस वीडियो ने भी किसको क्रेडिट दिया है प्लेट टेक्टोनिक का? द अल्फ्रेड वेगनर, बिकॉज ही वाज द फर्स्ट पर्सन हु ब्रॉट इन सिस्टमैटिकली कि ऐसे हो सकता है. फाइन. Clear with this? Clear with this? Clear with this? Drifted into different continents. Video नहीं है, PPT type है ये video. Evidences. What is the difference? Difference is the instead of continents drifting, this says Earth's crust is broken into several plates. Plates can move up to 2 inches or 3 inches every year. That is, there will be variation, and this is how remember the plates will be. You will have to know this diagram by heart. अगर बना सकते हो तो very fine. If the question comes on the plate tectonics, fine. So this is how the Arabian plate, African plate. ये है छोटा Arabian plate. This is the Indian plate. This is the Australian plate, sometimes known as Indo-Australian plate. Indian plate ka end is our land India, fine, but Indian plate is this big. Nowadays geologists divide that into Indo-Australian plate. NCERT कहता है Indo-Australian plate. Geography, अभी recent geography is dividing it into Indian plate and the Australian plate, two different plates. उसका reason is now because there is a spreading here. अब ये टूट रही है, fine. Otherwise this was Indo-Australian plate. हमारे बिल्कुल काम की नहीं Antarctic plate, South American plate, African plate. Moving against each other. यही कहा था continental drift ने. Fine. So South American plate is the continent South America, some part of Atlantic Ocean. African plate is the continent Africa plus some part of the Atlantic Ocean. North American plate is the continent North America plus some part of the Atlantic Ocean. Same Eurasian plate is the continent Eurasia, Asia and Europe plus some part of the Atlantic Ocean. Then but there is one plate which is totally oceanic in nature, and ये जो yellow color की है, this is what is the Pacific plate. Is Indian plate very big? Yes. If you consider Indian plate as per NCERT or as per standard conventional thinking, Indian plate starts from here, India, mainland India, उसके boundary पे Himalayas, similarly इसके boundary पे Rockies, Andes, fine, Atlas, Alps. So Indian plate starts from here, then is the Indian Ocean, then is the Indian Ocean, then is Australia, and end of the Indian plate when it is colliding with the Pacific plate is New Zealand. So New Zealand is nothing but an peak of the mountains. The entire country is mountains, peak of the mountains, which are now coming above the sea. Fine. Indian plate की दूसरी boundary अंडमान निकोबार, इंडोनेशिया, कोलाइडिंग विद द यूरेशियन प्लेट. यहाँ पे क्यों सबसे ज्यादा सुनामी? देखो, दिस इज द रीजन ऑफ ट्राई जंक्शन ऑफ थ्री बिग प्लेट्स, पैसिफिक प्लेट, इंडियन प्लेट, यूरेशियन प्लेट एंड एक छोटी प्लेट फिलीपींस प्लेट. जहां पे दो फिलीपींस प्लेट एंड द पैसिफिक प्लेट इज कोलाइडिंग, वी हैव द डीपेस्ट ट्रेंच ऑफ द ओशन, दैट इज द मरियाना ट्रेंच. फाइन. देयर आर सर्टन स्मॉल प्लेट्स, जैसे माइनर जो इतनी इंपॉर्टेंट नहीं है. वन इज द फिलीपींस प्लेट, दूसरा इज जुआन दे फुका प्लेट, तीसरा इज कोकोस प्लेट, फोर्थ इज द नाजका प्लेट, फिफ्थ इज द अरेबियन प्लेट. बट भुज का अर्थक्वेक क्यों होता है? बिकॉज अरेबियन प्लेट की बाउंड्री देखिए गुजरात. दैट इज वाई भुज इज फेमस फॉर द अर्थक्वेक्स इन गुजरात. These are the smaller plates, जैसे Scotia plate, not that important. But this entire theory which explains क्यों earthquakes है, क्यों volcanoes है, why there are some of the mountains, why some mountains do not have volcanoes, why the mountains are aligned in such manner, why the height of the mountains keeps on increasing, why in between there is mid-oceanic ridge which is S-shaped or which is continuous. And this continuous mountain system which runs for 78,000 kilometers unbroken is the longest mountain in the world. क्यों है ऐसा? This all can be explained with the help of a plate tectonic theory. How did we come to know about all these things? We came to know because of the sea floor spreading theory. During the World War II, while looking for the enemy submarines and while laying the telegraph cable, Harry Hess, who was again not a geographer, he was US का Navy engineer, discovered that there are some of the mountains, and then this ultimately led to the formation of the seafloor spreading theory. I don't know what is happening to the internet connection. चलो, we'll then look at the diagrams only. ये किसी और दिन we'll look at. Fine. If So have a connecting link between continental drift theory, उसके negatives, sea floor spreading theory, छोटा, and plate tectonic theory. इन दोनों में where did the convectional current theory go? It is not required. You should just know this is for the force. Fine. So as was given in the PPT, you can see in the video, they said during the World War II, while looking for the enemy submarines, what did the Europeans and the Americans thought? This is the America, this is the Atlantic Ocean, and they thought the Atlantic Ocean must be flat, and after that there is a European continent. But to their utter surprise, if this is the water body, they found that Atlantic Ocean is not flat, but in any ocean, if this is any continent, I am not taking America, किसी भी ocean में there is one of the deepest part of the ocean. उसके बाद there are parallel mountains in the ocean जहाँ से continuous volcanic eruption is occurring. Then there are some of the very tall mountains in the oceans. There are some valleys in the oceans. There are some mountains which are flat topped, and then there may be a continent. So in actuality, this is how the ocean floor can be. Some of the mountains may be at the top, some may be at the below. Now we are not concerned in our answer with these two mountains or with these three mountains. We are concerned with MOR, that is mid oceanic ridge, and we are concerned with ocean trenches. या उनका नाम है ocean deeps. What is this? This is Sial. This is Seema. And this is again Sial. What is happening in the Seema or Sial? There are convectional currents which are coming up and going below. So divergent. There is convectional current. Convergent. There is a convectional current. Therefore, convergence. So this is what is the concept of the sea floor spreading. ऐसे कुछ काम का नहीं. Is it visible? Fine. Now, because we are writing optional, we will always start our answer with the background. Then we will go to assumptions. But there are no assumptions because ये देख के पता लगता है. So sea floor spreading is very easy. Then we go to the theory, जो है. Fine. Then we go to criticism. But UPSC कभी नहीं पूछेगा criticism because it is properly seen. It is not a theory. It is basically an hypothesis which has been proved. Fine. Continental drift was a hypothesis which could not be proved. Sea floor spreading is a hypothesis which has been properly proved. So direct question आएगा, explain the concept of sea floor spreading. There is no critical analysis in sea floor spreading. Fine? Yes. Mountains. कहाँ पे डाइवर्जेंट प्लेट बाउंड्रीज अगर होगी या रिफ्ट वॉल्केनो होगा, अगर होगा, मैंने कहा रिफ्ट वॉल्केनो अगर होगा तो प्लाटू फॉर्म होगा. बट क्यों, कब? इफ देर इज नो वाटर मीन्स बिफोर. गुड, ही आस्क्ड द क्वेश्चन बिफोर गोइंग. जब हम मैग्मा सॉलिडिफाइज, मैग्मा और लावा विल सॉलिडिफाई टू फॉर्म माउंटेन. अब अंडरस्टैंड, इट इज ऑफ टू टाइप. वन इज एसिडिक, द अदर इज basic. Acidic magma has dominance of rocks containing granite. Fine. Basic magma has dominance of rock containing basalt. Acidic magma की property, acidic lava की property is it is viscous. Basalt की property is it is fluidic. अब if you ask me why it is fluidic, because ये सबसे ज़्यादा गर्म होता है. इसका temperature is somewhere around 6000 degree Celsius. So जितना ज़्यादा it is hot, उतना it is in the molten format. Consider a situation a land. Two different scenarios. There is a acidic magma or lava which is coming. There is a basic magma or lava which is coming. The basic magma or lava will come up. जो भी क्रैक है, इमेजिन जो मैं लाइन बना रहा हूं, दैट इज अ क्रैक. इट इज क्रैक में से बाहर आया and then it will flow. Because it is fluidic, it can easily flow at the speed of 35 to 70 kilometers per hour. Fine? Thus magma will flow at the speed of 35 to 70 kilometers per hour. So it will come up, it will flow, and then it will solidify. Because it will flow for a greater distance, क्या बनेगा? Plateau. Example? Deccan Plateau, black cotton soil. But the same acidic or same basic magma, if it is coming up, क्यों solidify हो रहा है? Why it is solidifying? Because it is getting cooled. The same basic magma, if it is coming up below the water, ocean water, बाहर आते it is cooling, and therefore mountains. Getting it? Getting it? Therefore it is forming the mountains. On other hand, एसिडिक लावा और मैग्मा है ना, ये क्रैक्स है. इट इज विस्कस मीन्स इट कैन नॉट फ्लो फॉर ग्रेटर डिस्टेंसेस. मीन्स इट विल सॉलिडिफाई ओनली आफ्टर फ्लोइंग फॉर अ शॉर्टर डिस्टेंस. सो इट इज कमिंग अप, फ्लोज, गेटिंग सॉलिडिफाइड. फाइन. नेक्स्ट टाइम इट इज कमिंग अप, putting large amount of pressure, so he the other rocks will melt, it will get solidified. Third time it will come up, it will put pressure, it will get solidified. Simple line है, यहाँ पे line कितनी thick होते जा रही है, because it is putting pressure. Putting pressure, solidify. Next time this entire has to melt, put pressure, crack नहीं है, it will blow, erupt. Erupt will be thrown upwards, and then it will start flowing. But before flowing for a greater distance, solidify. Next time, solidify. So acidic magma will always result into formation of mountains. Except obviously is because it is below the water. Fine. Example in India, acidic magma का mountain, Barren Island और Karakoram Range, Trans Himalayas. Mount Kailash देखा है फोटो में? Is it black in color? Yes. Why it is black in color? Volcanic है. You know where is Karakoram Range? हिमालयास के ऊपर. क्यों काराकोरम कहते हैं उसको? कारा मीन्स ब्लैक, कोरम मीन्स माउंटेन, ब्लैक माउंटेन. ऑफिशियल नाम क्या है काराकोरम का? इंडियन गवर्नमेंट क्या कहती है? कृष्णा गिरी. कृष्णा मीन्स ब्लैक, गिरी मीन्स माउंटेन. गेटिंग इट? It is an example of volcanic mountain. कौन सा? ट्रांस हिमालयास. हिमालयास नहीं, क्योंकि तब तक टेथिस सी खत्म हो चुका था. You will understand this now. Background: seafloor spreading theory. all सारे, मोस्ट नहीं सारे, एक्सेप्ट जापान ओशियन कन्वर्जेंस है. समझ में आएगा. याद रखना, बसाल्ट निकलेगा बिलो द सी, ग्रेनाइट निकलेगा बिलो द कॉन्टिनेंट. सियाल इज ग्रेनाइट एंड सीमा इज बसाल्ट. फाइन. सो बैकग्राउंड इज during the exploration of ocean floor, during the exploration of the ocean floor, or exploration of the ocean floor during the World War II, gave large amount of evidences of presence of different relief features under the ocean. Presence of different relief features under the oceans. Give me past year question booklet. Presence of different relief features under the oceans. Full stop. It was also observed that the temperatures are high around a continuous mountain system known as mid-oceanic ridge. Exam में direct लिखना mid-oceanic ridges. Temperatures are high around mid-oceanic ridge. So before we go further, tell me the difference. Mountain, hill, ridge. What is the difference? Mountain is very big. Kitna? What is the basic difference between hill and a ridge? Hill and a mountain. Kitne difference की height? देखो, it differs now. इंडिया में हम कंसिडर करते हैं 600 मीटर्स तक हिल, 600 मीटर्स के ऊपर माउंटेन. यूके में कंसिडर करते हैं 900 मीटर्स तक हिल, 900 मीटर्स के ऊपर माउंटेन. फाइन. सो इट डिफर्स फ्रॉम कंट्री टू कंट्री. तो दैट इज व्हाट इज द डिफरेंस बिटवीन माउंटेन एंड अ हिल. पहाड़, पर्वत. गेटिंग इट? रिज, एनी पैरेलल माउंटेन और अ हिल which runs parallel is the ridge, right? Cordilla, any mountain system, not hill, any very high mountain system जो पूरे एक साथ बने हैं, उसके बाद दूसरा माउंटेन सिस्टम जो एक साथ बना है, उसके बाद तीसरा माउंटेन सिस्टम विच एक साथ बना है, दैट इज कॉर्डिलेरा. व्हाट इज द डिफरेंस बिटवीन रिज एंड कॉर्डिलेरा? रिज इज लो इन हाइट, कॉर्डिलेरा आर वेरी हाइट इन हाइट. सो शिवालिक्स अलग है, पैरेलल. उसके बाद ग्रेट मिडल हिमालयाज है, they are parallel. Then after that they are great Himalayas. So we will call Himalayas not as a ridge because they are very high. You will call them as Cordillera. Rockies Cordillera, Andes Cordillera. Because the ridge bolenge to someone will think that Himalaya is very less in height. So the difference between ridge and Cordillera is in the terms of degrees of height. The difference between mountain and hill is in the terms of degrees of height. समझे? Hills somewhere between 300 meters to 600 meters. Oh. इसका बुक था. I'll get you a new book. Fine. Should I'll ask them to clear it? It keeps on happening. इस रूम में होता रहता है. The reason is you can see the slope. मेरा तो फिर भी कब टूटा है, संतोष सर का लैपटॉप टूटा था.